All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we finished last page, the other stream. And now we are on to page 4, which I'm pretty happy about. So we need kind of sketch this out. Give ourselves the more specific angle we're going for. Um, Hey, what's up, Dope and Stuff Animation? Hope you're doing well. We're actually gonna give some wind to this. Go this way. I'm doing all right. Pretty tired, but not too tired that I can't stream. Which is always nice. If you plan on animating, nice. I already miss animating. But I have a comic I need to finish. Ultimately, the goal for this part of the comic, these last 4 pages and the color and everything like that, is to have it all done by the end of the year. Wow, Skylanders. I haven't heard of that game in a long time. I never got into that when I was younger. Ooh, what's this? Skip Cloud. I'm gonna write this one down. This almost has a big giant circles kind of style. Or even a little bit of chip cell in it. The song, that is. Wait a minute. Okay. Oops, that's the wrong page. He's holding him up with his left hand. That's his left hand. Okay. Thank goodness. I did the right hand. How's the grind? It's alright. I got past one of the harder pages. Also good to see you there, Sandra. Happy to see you stopping by. So I just have 4 more pages to do, though. And then I can go into color, finally. I haven't colored a comic page in over a year. Because boy, have I gotten sidetracked. Did I remember? No, I didn't. Dang it. Okay, 1 second. I didn't finish this page because I forgot to do his... Let me just do this. Pattern across the front of his poncho. Um. Yo, what's up, Risky? Hope you're well. Hmm. Actually, I just realized that's all covered up by the hood. Hmm. Hello, Theus the Spade. Hope you're doing well. I gotta think about how I want to kind of be. Hmm. actually make them a bit smaller. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. I'll definitely have to bust out the rulers to get these right. All right. Oops, back on. I'm not really happy with that hand. So I actually have fingers kind of. One, two, three, four, five. Yep. Not gonna keep doing that. I've got to remember how to draw her. Yeah. Her hair is actually slightly longer than that. Good. Hold on. Right, pushing. Alright, let's try to get the line work done. Been going for about an hour. Hmm. Typical, there's not that many. Yeah, we'll not worry about that. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. I will be right back. Alright. That's one panel done. We'll see if we get to all three. I'm gonna grab a ruler. Mr. Invisible Cheater guy. That was not my fault. I don't know what's wrong with Unreal Tournament 99, but they gotta patch the game, man. That's all I'm saying. They gotta patch a 20-year-old game. 26-year-old game. I'm doing alright there, Guilty. Hope you're doing well. Actually, I am really curious what was going on there. We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe maybe it was just like a server issue, just a weird fluke. So we'll have to try again. The funny thing is that there is a not zero chance that they will actually patch it eventually, or someone will. Yeah, I'm really curious. Let me know if you find anything. Because that was downright bizarre. I've never seen that. My initial thought was because like I would come into the game sooner than you would, and I would stumble across the invisibility and then pick it up, and then you would come into the game. And so I thought what was happening was you were coming in while I was invisible, and that would basically like not let the flag reset for when I would lose invisibility. I thought that's what was happening. So when we were testing later, I was like, okay, I'm not going to pick up any invisibility. I'm gonna just like run around normally and not do that. But that didn't work. So a little bit bizarre. Honestly, though, when I get my network properly set up and everything like that, I do want to do a more dedicated server. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun maybe to even like stream it a little bit. Get people coming in and joining. Although I'd have to be careful with that. I'll have to figure out how to do that properly. I'd have to really set things up properly if I wanted to do that. Wait, what am I doing? Dang it. I gotta brush up on my FPS PC skills though. Keyboard and mouse skills. I was totally whiffing last time. Honestly, Guilty, if you really like Unreal Tournament and that kind of feel for a first-person shooter, you should look into Out of Action. That's one that I'm looking forward to. Actually, I need to play it more. I'm in a kind of a closed alpha or whatever it is right now, because I was a supporter on the Kickstarter. And it totally has an old school arena shooter feel to it. It's really unique though. It's not quite like that. It's way more like modular in how you honestly can just straight up play. But it has a very kind of traditional kind of arena shooter feel to it, which is super fun. There are people who could definitely give you a run for your money on that one. Animated movie when you watch it with your kid, typing in different terms in my browser to figure out the movie. Think it's going to be something really obscure. Oh? Now I'm curious. Little movie I've never heard of. Oh boy. Come on. Princess Mononoke. Yeah, that's I wouldn't call that one obscure. I don't know, I guess it depends on the circle that you run in. For people who'd seen it, you know. No. That one's gonna stand out. That one sticks in your memory for sure. I didn't grow up with Ghibli films, actually, funny enough. Which is kind of funny, because, like... you know, the movie no one ever talks about, ever? Yeah. No, that one's actually my brother's favorite Ghibli film. Because, it's for one thing, it's one of their most unique movies. Just in terms of its story and everything like that. It's very cool. But what's funny is, yeah, we really didn't grow up with Ghibli films, which is slightly surprising, not really surprising, but kind of funny, because like we were introduced to not so much like Japanese animation. That's really why it's not that surprising, but like I remember my dad picked up like Zone of the Enders, right, or Aiko, right, because it had a very unique, it has that really cool atmosphere to it and stuff like that that you get out of a lot of Japanese media. And so he kind of was drawn to that a little bit. Not extensively or anything like that, but it was funny once I started watching Ghibli movies. It's like, especially something like Princess Mononoke. It's like, yeah, that really has the feel of those games. I mean, for goodness sakes, Ico was heavily influenced by the Floating Castle, or the castle. What is it? Castle in the Sky? Hold on. Yeah, Castle in the Sky. So after I started watching, I was like, "Yeah, this is like right up my alley." Funny enough, though, my the thing that introduced actually both me and my brother to Princess Mononoke specifically, and what like got him to go and watch it, was a fan-made edit of the movie to a Bjork song. we watched that. We were like, okay, that actually looked pretty cool. Like, what was that? Well, you know, we didn't even know. We were just like, the heck was that? That was crazy, you know? For me, it wasn't until a friend of mine introduced me to the movies. The first one I saw was Spirited Away, which was okay. Not my favorite. I think that one has really gorgeous animation, but the story is kind of funny. Bjork, Bjork, because she's Icelandic, I think. Really cool stuff. Like, she did Army of Me, if you've ever heard that song. She did Homogenic, I think that's the name of it. Homogenic, something like that. Hyper Ballad is a really cool song. Number of Bachelorette. I think probably her most famous song is Army of Me. I think there might be something else that she's more known for. But really cool, very unique singing style. Almost very like traditional, almost, in the sense that it has this very like meandering canter to it. In some of the stuff she does, she got more into this weird like almost rhythmic poetry style stuff later on, which isn't so much my thing, but her earlier stuff is really cool. I would play you some, but you know, YouTube. I wish I could listen to Bjork on stream. Actually, let me look up what song it was, just out of curiosity, for that music video. Oh, come on. Is it Isabel? Dang, I wonder if the video got taken down. Yeah, probably got taken down. Dang. Because it was a really cool edit. Yeah. That's her name. Bjork. So yeah, that video unfortunately probably doesn't exist anymore because, you know, YouTube. Maybe it's somewhere else, I don't know. For a while, the actual official music video for Bachelorette, which is a really cool music video, like that's an awesome story told through that music video. You couldn't find it anywhere online. At least not conveniently. I found a really crappy copy of it on like Vimeo or something like that. Now it's on YouTube, which is nice. I think it's actually officially on YouTube from the actual topic channel or whatever it is. All right, that's 2 panels done, more or less. I might call it at 3 panels. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm pretty tired. The nice thing is the next page is only 4 panels, so that'll be nice. And they're actually pretty easy panels, all things considered. I gotta remember what the dialogue is gonna be on this whole thing. Come on. Oh. Remember bits and pieces of Prince Mononoke, never saw the whole thing. People getting their their heads flying off looking like ham. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do actually highly recommend check it out. Like, watch it all the way through. It's a longer one, I think about 2 hours or so, but man, is it worth it. It's a very cool story. And actually, I'm gonna be straight up honest. The English voice actors, which is the only version I have seen, so I'm sure that the Japanese voice actors are really good, but the English voice acting in that movie is really friggin' good. You're like, that's not how that's supposed to look. To be fair, I don't think anyone wanted to animate, even Ghibli animators want to animate vertebrae. To be fair, though, humans are really anatomically similar in like muscle structure and bone and stuff like that. I think mostly like skin tissue and muscle to head pigs. So you know, maybe it is what it looks like. I've never seen someone's arms be cut off and seen the cross section. I don't really plan on changing that either, but you know, maybe it looks like delicious ham. Maybe the desert island hot dog hallucination isn't so far off. Guess that makes sense, yeah. Oh, well, to be clear, I wouldn't call it similar to Unreal Tournament, just similar to like old school arena shooters. But Out of Action is the name of it. It's heavily movement based, but the best way I can describe it is it's very like physical. Like it's very physics based in a really unique way, and in that like you have momentum you can maintain. And that momentum can be used in combative ways. So, like, you can knock other players over. The hitbox for the characters is literally the model. So you can, like, shoot between a dude's arm and his body and it'll miss. You know? Stuff like that. It's, like, super precise. Like, every projectile is physics-based, like, all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, no, it's super fun. And like I said, it's super modular. So like, the skill tree sort of, or the more like the ability tree, you're able to set up is like really dense. So you can get really creative with how you play. It's very much heavily inspired by like Ghost in the Shell. That's what got me interested in it. Kind of the ideas you play as these sort of shells, these kind of cyborg soldiers and stuff, and mercenaries and whatnot. Honestly, you'll probably do a lot better in it, because you can actually aim on a PC shooter. I'm still figuring that one out. I used to be pretty good on PC. I used to be decent, but I just really fell out of it. I must have played console, so I got used to getting bad. Come on. The classic. I might give that a shot at some point down the line. I've got so many games I got to get to though. Like, I do want to give that a shot and play that a bit, because it would be fun to get back into like old school, you know, arena shooters and kind of improve a little bit. Especially considering like, it would be fun to get better at like out of action as well. Because right now it's just like, I just get friggin' wrecked. But honestly though, my problem is I've got to get through Zone of the Enders 2 still. A friend of mine just got me Ace Combat 7, which I was playing the other day, and holy crap, that was fun. But my problem is it's just like, I already don't put enough time into like the comic and commissions and stuff like that, so I've got to like focus on that on my time off. I'm actually thinking of like, if an opportunity for another commission comes up, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, nah. Unless it's like probably like an editing gig or something like that, because I do need to get more of those under my belt. But as far as illustration goes, I'm pretty, I don't want to like kind of over promise myself. I already kind of feel like I'm doing that a little bit. So I gotta kind of get on top of stuff. Honestly, work and like sleep. This is my fault. I've been sleeping really bad. I've been kind of like staying up a little too late and stuff like that. So I gotta be more conscious of that. I don't know though, maybe I'll stream some games or something like that at some point. I do want to do a Paper Mario stream, the original Paper Mario stream at some point, because that's one of my favorite games. That is a super fun game. You know, all about being up too late. Loving that gamer lifestyle. Constantly, yeah. I usually don't go too late because, you know, I do have work I gotta get to. But it's easy to get carried away when, you know, a friend of yours is in a completely different time zone and they're, you know, it's still like 6 o'clock and over there and it's midnight for you. The nice thing is that, I mean, naturally, I sleep better later, so I try to get to sleep around like 1, and thankfully, you know, the job that I have works really well for that. So I do actually get good sleep, because like if it's like an early kind of day or whatever, like, I've tried to shift my sleep schedule to be more morning based, but it doesn't work. It really, really doesn't work. Yeah, actually. So I want this to be on like very mechanical. Honestly, you know what game I really want to get back into is, speaking of like old school shooters, I need to beat Quake 1 and 2. And I actually there's a new campaign that a team put out called, I think, like Call of the Void or something like that. There's a like totally fan-made sort of Quake 1.5 sort of. So it's like right in between that really cool like gothic eldritch kind of architecture of the first game and the more like cybernetic look of the second game. So I wanted to look into that, all of that. It looks super fun. Getting mildly better at RTS, so the Warcraft 3 is a very different game. Yeah. No, I'd be down at some point. It'd be super fun. That'd be another one that'd be really fun to get a lot of other people involved in. Honestly, the RTSs are another thing that I'm really out of practice on. Not that I was ever like super in practice with them. I was getting decent at Age of Mythology. That one was fun. At least as the Norse factions or whatever, the Norse gods. Like StarCraft? I never got into StarCraft. I never got into Warcraft or StarCraft or anything like that. I did get into Diablo a bit. I got into see, I never got into Diablo 2. I want to. But funny enough, I have played Diablo 1 a bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. And then Diablo 3. It's actually pretty fun playing that with my brothers. See, I got into Dungeon Siege, actually, which is another one I need to get back to. I started playing that one again. Age of Mythology was really good, too. But Age of Mythology is a lot of fun. It's a lot easier than Age of Empires. That being said, it's absolutely unbalanced. The Norse gods are 100% overpowered. They're so strong. Because your units, your soldiers can build buildings and stuff like that. So you just run in with an army, build like 15 like barracks and forts and stuff like that, and then you're just like on the front lines just immediately. Their economy is a little slow to start, but like they are so hard to stop once they get going. Every time I would play as like another faction, like the Greeks or the Egyptians. It was a nightmare fighting against the Norse. You don't like 2 as much? Oh, that's interesting. And atmosphere, yeah. Diablo, I remember. So, me and my brothers, we had this idea where we were like, we want to play through every single Diablo game, right? We're going to start with the first one. And it was a miracle because we actually managed to get the old school copy of Diablo, right? I have a disc of Diablo that I was able to put into a Windows XP machine that I have, and we actually managed, with some kind of registry hacking, to get it to communicate between machines on in a modern context. And like it was we were blown away that it worked, right? Because this stuff never works. We spend like hours upon hours trying to figure this stuff out, and it never works because it's all so like just like old just architecture and stuff like that doesn't exist anymore, right? Well, it worked, so we're like, oh heck yeah. So we started playing it, and we realized kind of a significant design flaw, specifically with the multiplayer of the game, where because there's more than one of you, there is no XP share. So if you clear a floor, let's say you have 3 people like we did, if you clear a floor and everyone's kind of killing enemies evenly and all that, you have 1/3 the experience that you're supposed to have. And it just keeps getting worse as you go down. So it's not balanced for multiplayer like at all. So like what we would have had to do is we would have had to just keep restarting the game with our characters and just like grind it to level them up, basically. Because from what I understand, there's not actually all that much grinding in the single player. You don't have to actually. It's fairly well balanced where you're able to keep up with the enemies as they go down. But that's not the case with the multiplayer. So we kind of gave up on that idea. We'll eventually get around to playing Diablo 2 at some point, probably. We're just all kind of busy right now. What I really want to do, I want to go back and play more Dungeon Siege multiplayer. Because the crazy thing about Dungeon Siege is it had 2 campaigns. You had the single player campaign and the multiplayer campaign, and they were completely different. It was basically like a second game. Within the game, like it was crazy. It was like, and like unique stuff, I think unique enemies, unique bosses, like everything. You think D1 is more single player experience anyway? Yeah, it really is. Just in general, it was really fun because we were recording, and I managed to get S video out of my old school laptop I have that I was playing on, and I was capturing that, so it looked really jank. Oh, it was so much fun. I think I still have that footage somewhere. You know, honestly, it would be fun to go back and play more Diablo 3. I never did beat it on my own. I was playing through it on my own with a wizard character I have. That game had some pretty fun combat. Fun mechanics. So many games so little time. Isn't that the truth? You know, Dungeon Siege is really fun because it kind of blurs the line between a dungeon crawler and a real-time strategy game, because you can have 8 people in your party and you control them all, and you can kind of control them like an RTS almost, right? You can set them to defend, you can set them to like be aggressive, you can set them to hold their ground, and you kind of have to manage them like an RTS. It's pretty dang fun. It's pretty dang fun to take a posse of 8 people around and just start beating the snot out of everything. It's a little slow to start, but it gets better as you go. Yo, Jordan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. That's my life, by the way. Constantly. I live in a neighborhood, by the way. Thought it was a cow mooing. No, it's just someone's obnoxious. Probably like a truck or something like that. It's usually like trucks with a friggin' muffler like hacksawed off or something. I don't know. No, I don't live next to cows. I'd rather live next to cows, honestly. Did not go so well. Sometimes that happens. You'll get him next time. You know, honestly, I would be... I would love to find a new, like, good dungeon crawler to play through. I mean, I haven't played Diablo 2, so it'd be fun to go through that one, but, like... I feel like... You know, maybe I just haven't been looking, but I feel like dungeon crawlers are kind of sparse nowadays. They're kind of few and far between. I know that, what's it called? Path of Exile 2 came out recently, but Path of Exile 2 is a little, like, too much. Honestly, it's way more, like, MMO-y, in my opinion. It's super grindy, from what I can tell. And I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking for just, like, a good run-around dungeon crawl, beat up monsters, and you know, go through a campaign kind of thing, you know? Not sure how to play it. It'll probably be the old school version, I'm gonna be honest. I'll keep that in mind though. Honestly, if you ever do pick up a Diablo 3, or if you have that would be a fun one to go through as well. I'd be down. This is kind of a cool song. What song is this? Bomb Boy, Back Alley Clash. If you can get it cheap, maybe. Yeah, it's a 13-year-old game, so maybe. Yeah, last time I played, I think I was in the hospital. Not this last time I was in the hospital. The last time I was in the hospital, like 5 years ago or something, or maybe even before that. I don't know. I've been in the hospital a number of times. I'm not going to say a lot, but you know, a number of times. Thankfully, hopefully, that should be behind me for a good while now. Oh, this song's got a funky sound. Catch you later, Jordan. Come on. I need to remember how to do her hair. It's always kind of annoying getting back into the mode for doing it. Boy, this isn't one I've heard in a while. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, it should be under Styropyro. I'll send you the link though. Wonder if he's done anything recently. His last one was awesome. The 20,000 watt microwave, the macrowave. Honestly, his videos are great for like, if you want like good inspiration for how to describe, like, let's say you have a story or like something like that with magic or whatever. It's like, what does it look like when lightning, you know, an absurd amount of energy like comes out in the form of lightning or something like that? Because that's one thing that I kind of like, I feel like video games in particular are pretty weak about, is like really getting across just how volatile stuff like that is. It's like I want to like magic in a game where it just is like unhinged, like in the sound design as well, like borderline too loud. I want to feel like I'm ionizing air and turning the atmosphere into poison all around me, you know? Imagine not just chaotic, just like if you've ever seen like a really high powered Tesla coil or something like that, and just the sound of it and the like just impact that it has or can have, you know, or even just the look of it, like that 20,000 watt microwave, you know, when he turns that thing on, I mean, it is just like stuff is melting, like, I mean, immediately everything is just like breaking. I want like magic to be scary, you know? Like if you're not careful, you're gonna like vaporize yourself, kind of deal. Want that wizard game. A lot of games where you can play mage, but not like that. Yeah, like, and I get it. Like, it's not really a priority, you know. It would kind of stand out in like an RPG. Like, you couldn't do it in like an Elder Scrolls game, right? Because otherwise, it's like, holy crap, what's wrong with magic? Be kind of overwhelming. But a good wizard game where it's just like no holds barred, you know, you just like go nuts, right? That'd be pretty fun. I think that'd be pretty fun. I just think it'd be really cool to like try to really capture stuff like that, like really try to make it look powerful, right? Because nowadays a lot of times it's just like throw 15 billion particle effects, right? And they're all shiny, but it's like it's I don't know, it's like it's really noisy and there's like a lot going on, but it doesn't really feel like that impactful. I think taking more of a subtractive role and just being like, okay, you're shooting lightning. You're shooting lightning. A game where a wizard is the only option to warrior or rogue. Yeah, you know, like a proper like just wizard game, you know. Hey, what's up, Devony? Good to see you back. Hope you're doing well. Working on your extremely rusted drawing skills and venturing out of your comfy zone? Heck yeah. It's always good to push yourself. I'm kind of actually having to like push myself as well because I'm having to get back into a style I haven't drawn in a good number of months, but I'm getting back into it. I've actually been really happy with how quickly I've been able to get these last few pages done. That's been nice. That being said, I am missing animating. Again, already. It definitely comes a lot more naturally than this style. Or just straight up doing comics. Comics are awkward for me. I don't know. I feel like I really struggle with them. But I set out to make a comic, and doggone it, I'm gonna make it. 4 years in, I can't stop now. That being said, I'm almost wrapped up here. Almost done for the day. Maybe I'll do a little like light doodle on the side though. But the skill's not there yet. Yeah, that's a tricky thing. Honestly, sometimes it's good to set those projects aside, the bigger projects, and work on something else for a bit. Really kind of get your chops up. Work on a shorter project, especially. If you're staring down the barrel of a longer project, it's always really good to like kind of warm up on a shorter project and really get your workflow in, like how you're like kind of settle on your process. And then when you have your process, you could focus on developing that more specifically, and you'll see a lot quicker results. So that's always really nice. Which reminds me, I gotta remember what my process is for coloring. I mostly remember it's just gonna be a big. It's just gonna be a lot of like kind of remembering how to set everything up. Yeah, no, I don't think people really understand a lot of times just how important a good process is. Having a system that's like just vital. Oh, you're fine there, Devaney. I'm always happy to talk about it. Basically, let's see. This guy had a bad time. This guy had a real bad time. After deciding she needed to die. So that's kind of what's happening in the scene, but there's a whole lot going on behind the scene to arrive at that conclusion. If you're interested in reading it, though, it is all like everything that's released is available for free. The link down below should be working now. So if you want to check it out, then you totally can. Let me know if the link is still broken. We had a little bit of trouble with that before. So I really do hope it's working now. All of our tests worked, so should be. Guilty here actually helped me with that, which was very nice of him. Truth be told, everyone on the boat is having a bad time right now. You know, he's been shot. She's had her hand cut and been nearly killed. You know, just a bad night all around. Not great. Excellent. Glad to hear that. Yeah, I will say what is currently out will give you context as to what led up to the scene, but there's an awful lot still yet told. It's kind of the idea behind this comic is not necessarily to be so vague that you like come up with whatever, right? It's still telling a story, but it's from a very, very limited perspective. So you're kind of along for the ride. It's kind of the way that I look at it. Next chapter, I am really looking forward to the next chapter because certain things are really going to get spelled out in a really cool way that I'm super excited to share. So I'm really looking forward to the next chapter. It's going to be a crap ton of work, but it'll be fun. All right. Yeah, this chapter is stupid long. It's 40 pages. Oh, that was stupid of me. Because the thing about it, like, it's really bizarre. The longer a chapter goes on for, I've found, the harder it is for me to, like, keep it up. I don't know. Once there's that chapter break, I don't know if it's like a psychological thing or what, or like a reinvention that I can do. It's like, man, it's like a reset. Yeah, I did my best to give enough that you can maybe put it together. I don't know. It's kind of experiment. This whole thing's experimental, so I'd be really curious what you think. Good and bad. That's kind of the reason that it is free, is because I don't really look at it as like a traditional narrative that there's a chance that it might not be satisfying, right? So I don't want people to feel like I invested in this and then I didn't get much out of it, you know? So I figure, people might as well read it and see if they like it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna call that done. Actually came out all right. Not the best hair that I've drawn for her. Actually, I was getting pretty good at her hair, like, this page. Yeah, that's better hair. Like I said, everyone has a bad tie. Yeah, I was still kind of figuring her hair out there. Oh, this page. This page, I really like how this page came out. This is probably one of my strongest pages, honestly. Everyone has a bad time is a great way to explain things. Yeah, I mean, that's basically this comic front to back. No one's having a good time. Man, the world kind of sucks. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how this page came out specifically. Looking forward to coloring this one. That one will really pop. Kind of reading it in reverse. This was kind of the page where I sort of turned a leaf and really started like getting the look that I was wanting. Because before that, it's good enough, but it's a little stark. It's a little more stark than I would like. It'll work, but I was kind of being fast with these pages, and I was exhausted. So you know, that always helps. So yeah, there's little things here and there that I would change if I had time, but it'll work. Let's see. They're friends. Yeah, don't mind the knife. Don't mind the sacrificial knife about to be plunged into her heart or anything like that, or the dude carrying a gun in a Copper Age society. But, you know. They're throwing a surprise party. All right. Do I want to do anything else? Oh, whoops. I did forget something. I forgot his leg. His leg is here. Okay, leg is there. Let me just do a little bit of hatching. Friendship necklace, same as sacrificial knife wound. Oh, all right. Well, we have half the page done, which I'm pretty happy. I'm actually pretty happy that in... Oh, geez, it's been 3 hours. Okay. But in 3 hours, I got half a page done. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Because that's actually, like, that means that I can get a page done, like, every 2 days, basically. Which is a better pace than I was doing. Honestly, I probably could get... if I felt like keeping on going. I probably could get a page done in 4 hours. I can definitely get the next page done in 4 hours. Well, actually, looking at it again, I'll have to take some time on the cliffs, but these 3 panels won't be that much work. So I should be able to get this one done pretty quickly. The next page actually as well shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. So yeah, we're almost there. We're getting there. We only have, after this page, we only have 3 more pages to go, and then I can finally go into coloring. Goodness, been too long. Been way too long. And then when coloring's done, I can release it, and that will be on the website. So subscribe or bookmark or whatever, do whatever you want to do to keep up to date and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I don't even know where to post the stuff for like social media and whatnot anymore. I'll probably just end up posting it on YouTube, like a thing on YouTube, and be like, hey, this is done. Maybe I'll make a video or something like that, kind of like promoting it or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. I do appreciate everyone stopping by. Been getting a few more people in since I started the comics, so a slideshow type thing. Yeah, maybe like a kind of like a little teaser or something like that. Get people intrigued and like, holy crap, what is this? You know, kind of thing. But we'll see. Let's see. So next stream, Thursday, I will be streaming at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I do wish I could do earlier, but it's just not realistic. Send you thingy. Yes, thank you for reminding me. But yeah, I'll be back. We're gonna finish this page. That's gonna be the idea. We're gonna finish that page. We're going to move on to the next one. Actually, come to think of it, I'm gonna try to have this page done before next stream. So we're gonna be on to the next page probably. So yeah, look forward to that. Hope to see you there. Take care. Have a good one. Good luck with the drawings. Keep drawing, keep working, keep having fun, all that kind of stuff. And look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.